Hello, welcome to Wednesday. How are you?
I am wonderful. How we doing?
Hey, I'm here, man. I think that I finally looked at too much porn on my phone and it's going to die.
That can't happen.
It is. Yes, it can.
Phone companies love porn. It keeps them in business.
No, I think that. I mean, I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but like for some reason, like my phone today, twice now it's happened where I'm like trying to like send a text or open up a text or something like that,
Yeah.
and I can't do it. Like it just freezes.
Uh-oh.
Now I've tried like exiting out of every open program that I have and all that kind of stuff. And the only thing that I can come up with is that there's some sort of virus that's eating my phone from the inside out. Is that possible? I thought there was security on phone.
You have an Apple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have that problem. How old's your phone?
I don't know. It's a what are they on now? They're like on 15 now?
15? Yeah.
I think mine's a 12.
Yeah, it might be time. 3-4 years is about it. Which is crazy when you think about the freaking cost of these things, but yeah, you know, that's what they last about 3 years, then you have to upgrade them.
Yeah, well, I mean that shouldn't happen. I mean, one, the new phones that they come out with anymore are not any different.
Not really.
I mean, there's no difference. I know somebody that has the 15, and they're like, oh yeah, it's no difference than the 12 that I have.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. This is the first. I'm on a 13, I think, and this is the first time since Apple's been making phones that I'm 2 back. I just haven't been 2 back ever.
Bob France is calling me. Like he doesn't know that I'm doing a show.
Yeah. Well, I'll call him tomorrow at 9:30. I'll return his call for you at 9:30 tomorrow. How's that?
I was like, I know they probably wants to talk about this guest that he had on today.
He can at 6 o'clock or at 5:30. He could be our guest if he wanted to be.
We should have him on now. Like, hey, how'd it go?
You want to?
I don't think you would.
Oh, I would, because I would. You know. But we do have guests today, though.
We do.
We have Tony Montana from Great White fame and Jack Russell's Great White fame. He'll be on at the bottom of the hour to talk about his band Shadow and The Thrill, which pretty good band. And I'm sure we'll talk some Great White, and I'm sure you'll ask him about banging whores. And
I will. No doubt.
I'm sure that'll happen.
And we have Tony Musachio too today.
And Jon Drake.
Oh yeah, when's he calling in?
5:10.
Oh boy. Okay, we have Tony at 5:15.
You might have to move Tony down 10 minutes.
All right. Good, because I want to ask Jon Drake some shit, dude.
Yeah. He said he would come on. So I sent him the link.
I've decided that he's either a lefty or just a pussy, dude. One of the two.
Right.
Because we got at it a little bit on Facebook. I wouldn't say at it. I mean, I would never get mad at that guy. That guy's like super nice and stuff. But, you know.
Dude, call him out. He ain't gonna offend me. I'd like to see him get smacked.
The stuff that he was saying to me on Facebook, I don't necessarily agree with.
So smack him.
I'm not going to smack him. I'm not going to fight with the guy.
Fight. I want it.
He's a nice guy. And
he ain't that nice. He's kind of a dick.
Best friends. And
he's kind of a dick.
He's not kind of a dick, dude. I only met the guy one time, and he was not even close to being a dick.
Just kill him so I can console his wife. No, dude. Don't hold back because I'm in the mix. I am not in the mix. John's a grown man. You're a grown man. You guys can fight your fights. It's all good with me.
What he said, and we'll get into it with him, but it's just a little, to preface it a little bit, he said that I'm smarter than that to think that there's nothing good on the left. That I shouldn't be just one side or the other. That I should, look at both sides of all these arguments, and there's got to be something on the left side that I actually agree with.
Well, you know that he's like politically retarded, right?
I don't know that.
He is politically retarded. Like, not, and I say that not to say that he has bad opinions. I say that to say he doesn't know the right from the left.
He says he stands by. He's listening now.
That's fine. I don't care. He knows I'll say what I think, and I'm telling the honest truth. He doesn't know. He does not. A lot of times, him and I will be talking about politics on, in a phone call or whatever, and he'll ask me point blank, "Is that a right thing or a left thing? Is that a Democrat thing or a Republican?" He doesn't know. He doesn't study it like we do.
Well, I mean, I don't think you have to study it necessarily or be involved in it to understand at least the political basics of left versus right.
I'm talking surface level. If you ask him who's pro-abortion, I don't know that he knows the answer. And I'm not even joking.
Really?
I'm not even joking. If the only thing I could think of that he would know is his brother, his one brother, is very Trump trainish. He would definitely be the guy feeding coal to the Trump train. And if his brother Derek says it, then he might know that it's right-leaning. But if it's a peripheral issue, he won't know at all. If it's some kind of, where do you stand on gay marriage? I doubt very much he would say, well, that clearly came in 2008 on the Obama administration, and it was approved by this, or Affordable Care Act or any of that. I doubt very much he knows any of that shit.
Huh.
I could be wrong on that, but I have a very strong feeling I'm correct on that. He would not know.
Seth versus Jon, SummerSlam this weekend.
I would bet you, see, he's acknowledging it. I would bet you he does not know what state J.D. Vance comes from, let alone what party. I guarantee. Yeah, don't say who it is. Let's see. He'll answer in the chat. John, without looking, do you know what state J.D. Vance comes from?
He'll look. He'll Google it or something.
I doubt it. He don't care if he looks like an idiot. Look at him.
Look.
You seen his tattoos?
I respect, yes, and I like those tattoos. I respect the hell out of this guy. And I like him as a person. I think he's entertaining. I think he's nice. I think he's funny. And, I wouldn't say I have a man crush yet on him. I'm just saying that, I think he's a good dude. And anybody that's a friend of yours, I'd like to think is a good individual.
Well, that's
for the most part.
That's reaching because I'm not a good individual. But.
I said for the most part. And so, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just trying to figure out. See, he got it right.
Yeah, he looked.
Yeah, he did. So I'm interested to talk to him just to pick his brain a little bit before we talk to Tony Musachio. So we'll have
that's fine.
We'll squeeze both those in there in that last half hour.
Yeah. Well, and John, since you're watching anyway, once we finish with Tony Montana from Great White, just bing in. You don't have to wait until 10
He has the link and everything.
He's got the link. I just sent it to him right as we were starting the show. So.
I did. I'm driving.
Oh, that's safe.
Wait, he's driving and texting the show. That's safe. Awesome.
And watching the show, I'm sure.
Which side is it on, left or right, where you don't drive while texting?
He probably doesn't know which side of the road he's driving on, left or right. Are you kidding?
I really don't want to get too political at all this first half hour because I'm tired of it. Trump got attacked at some black conference he went to. I mean, they really
physically attacked or just some bullshit questions?
They really bullshit questions. But one lady. He was invited to this place, right? Invited to it. One lady actually quit before the event. And it's their tradition to have the candidates for president come on, this panel and answer questions.
Right.
This country's going to hell quickly.
Sure it is. Well, would you like, if you don't want to talk about politics, would you like to see a stupid person from Ohio involved in a high-speed? Well, there's many.
One
involved in a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
Let's go to that route instead, and he doesn't get killed, so that's good.
No, that makes it worse.
Well, it makes it worse for me. I wish he would have got killed, but this guy, 100-mile-an-hour high-speed chase on the turnpike in the rain. So check this guy out. This guy is really, really... It's embarrassing to call him an Ohioan when you see him stopped. Here we go.
93 miles an hour.
Initially stopped going over 90 miles per hour in Braceville Township, Trumbull County.
Yep, she made contact.
Dashcam video released Saturday shows her taking off, leading state troopers on a high-speed chase like something in a movie.
All right, her tire's gone. She's shredding off.
The 33-year-old driver, identified as Esther Paragula, blowing through stop sticks at triple-digit speeds.
103 miles an hour.
Weaving in and out.
103 after she hit the stop stick.
Wow.
She's a smart one.
See, that's the kind of girl that I like, though. I mean, I like girl with issues.
Yeah. You'd like to date her, but not marry her.
Is
That's
she
for
hot? Is she hot? Do we
No.
any mugshot on this, broad?
sure. They showed her.
Oh, there she is. I mean, if you did her makeup right, she's all right.
I'd rather see her get hit by this car. All right, here we go.
103 miles an hour.
Weaving in and out of traffic and at cruisers on wet roads with only 3 tires.
She's driving on a rim. She's trying to hit the cruisers. Be aware, she's trying to hit the cars.
Westbound on the Ohio Turnpike in the middle of the afternoon, like it's a joyride.
And passengers just sitting there taking video thinking it's all funny.
A male passenger and the car's owner.
Watch that passenger. He's the one egging her on.
For more than 20 minutes,
Units,
20
be ready to
minutes.
go. Felony stop.
until finally,
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
she takes off again.
And she almost ran me over. She came straight on at me with her car.
The trooper
Man.
who was nearly hit
She's like nuts, man. Good point, Brian. Good point. Crystal Matheny is her name. Probably true. All right, here we go.
catches up to the couple
Pull it over now.
and starts broadcasting commands.
Pull it over. You're not going to win this one. The car's already fallen apart. There is nowhere else for you to go.
And finally, they stop.
Hands up! Hands up!
This time surrounded by troopers who weren't taking any chances.
Get on the ground! On the ground!
The passenger and Paragula arrested. No longer laughing and seemingly surprised.
Gee, what happened? Why am I being arrested?
What the fuck is your problem? What are you doing?
What did
Never
I do
understand.
wrong?
As they're taken into custody.
What is your problem? Are you serious?
What happened to the sound?
No, I would have said the black guy kidnapped me.
Yeah.
In Portage County, Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.
She's like, Jesus, why am I being arrested?
I don't get it.
How could I be in trouble? I was just driving home from work.
That was pretty awesome.
Dude, I've been getting me more and more into these videos of just these police stops.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm really finding out? It's all here in Ohio.
There's a lot in Ohio.
Dude, he must send me 3 a week that are from Ohio, and not even like far, not even like Cincinnati or Columbus. A lot of shit from Streetsboro, a lot of stuff from like, Middleburg Heights. You know, it's
Tell
like,
you. And if you go to if you go to just Facebook videos a lot,
Yeah.
the video category, man, I'll tell you what, you get a lot of like people getting shot by cops.
Oh, yeah.
pulling people over for nothing, or cops getting these sovereign citizens out there getting pulled over, saying they don't have to present ID, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, we're doomed. I know. We are absolutely doomed. Because stupid is now acceptable. We're not allowed to call people stupid anymore.
No,
That lady was stupid. But
well, she had to be high
just
on something.
But I probably just committed a hate crime calling her stupid.
Yes, I definitely committed a hate crime by saying she should have accused the black guy of kidnapping.
Oh, that's absolutely a hate crime. Are you kidding? Why's it got to be a black guy?
And why do they throw that black guy down on the ground? Well, he wasn't driving. That guy's as innocent as could possibly be.
He was egging it on.
How's he? Yeah, they don't know that shit. That poor guy. If I was a passenger in that car, I would have jumped out and been like, this crazy bitch took off. I don't know what the hell she was doing.
Look,
I
that
don't
dude,
care if it was my wife. I'd have been like, I don't know this, bro.
if all he got was thrown on the ground and didn't get a wood shampoo, he should be happy. He should be happy that he didn't get Reginald Dennied. Or what was his name? What was that guy's name? Why can't we all just get along, guy? That wasn't Reginald Denny. That's the one that took the brick after.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? Can't we all just get along?
Rodney King?
Rodney King.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy should be happy he wasn't Rodney Kinged. Wasn't crowned.
Hey, speaking of, I wanted to ask you, somebody else, that was a hell of a video. I love that. Before we get to our band, it's coming up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
SummerSlam is in town this weekend, right?
Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Are you going?
No.
Well, I know that you're a ginormous wrestling fan.
I am. And I have Peacock. I'll watch it for $10.
Well, that's
And
my
I'm-
question. Do
and
I
I'm
have to, I have Peacock.
Paid Peacock?
I pay like $7 a month or something like that, or whatever it is, 7, 10, whatever. I don't know what it
you
is.
should get it. There should be a section called WWE on the left menu.
I know there was, and I haven't watched it in a while, but I mean, they haven't changed anything?
No,
right?
no. It's part of the standard. It's part of the standard Peacock. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it.
Because more so than the actual storylines, because I don't know a lot of the storylines.
Sure.
I mean, I follow wrestling enough to be like intelligently stupid about it.
Right.
I mean, I know the whole bloodline thing, even though I think that thing is being run down into the
But now it's
ground.
new bloodline.
Yeah, without Roman Reigns.
Without Roman Reigns or the Usos. It's Solo Sikoa and his brothers and
Yeah, I don't know any of those names that you just said. Those words
Solo
that came out-
Sikoa was the one with the thumb that was the enforcer guy for Roman Reigns.
Okay. But I want to see, like, if they show, like, shots of the city. I'm assuming, I mean, it's an outdoor thing, so I'm assuming they're going to show, like, around Brown Stadium, and they're going to show.
They've already been. Like, even Monday on Raw, as they were promoting SummerSlam,
Yeah.
everything was like this big drone. They had a really nice drone shoot that they did some evening. So it was when the city was all lit up and it was kind of, it was kind of dark, but the streets were all kind of gold looking and
Now, this is just Saturday,
just Saturday.
because I know that WrestleMania or whatever it was, they did, like, 2 nights.
Yeah, WrestleMania was 2, and going forward after this year's SummerSlam is going to 2 nights.
Oh, it is.
But this is the last one of the single night, I believe.
Now, the forecast for Saturday
Yeah.
is scattered thunderstorms during the day, 80. At night, it's going to be partly cloudy, 67. What time does this thing start?
7:00.
All right, so they should be good.
They should be all right. I hope it pours rain.
You and I went down the list of ticket prices, and people, if you're sitting close to the ring, you're paying a couple grand a ticket.
Yeah, it's crazy amount of money.
Although I did look up tickets, and now I remember the last when we looked at it when they were coming out, like the ticket prices were coming out, and they were actually just starting to sell tickets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now I think you can get seats a lot cheaper.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
for
'cause-
ones that are like remaining and stuff like that, because they want bodies in the seats.
Mhm.
And so I think that the seats are actually a lot cheaper than they were. But I still don't know if I want to sit out in 80-degree weather with a chance of thunderstorms. And
Yeah, I'll pass. I will pleasantly pass, my friend.
What's
I got CMS to do anyway, so
what's the big match?
Cody versus Sikoa, I think is one of the big ones. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, I think, is the headliner. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for the women's title will be a big one. Are you hip to either of those two?
Who?
Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.
Those are the girls?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Liv Morgan, isn't she kind of hot?
not kind of.
She's way hot. Because I think I
She's-
saw her the other night. Was she on SmackDown the other night?
Showing her ass, yeah.
Bailey is another one I like has grown on me. She's become more attractive to me the more I see her.
She'd look better at Thistledown.
Okay, I'm not
She's
saying
got a
that
horse
she's a
face.
10. I'm saying that she's grown on me since she first came into the arena of wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know. She's not my thing at all. Liv Morgan is definitely my thing.
I can't remember. It had to be her that I saw the other night. Because I saw one girl.
I'll put Liv Morgan up. The only photo of Liv that you need to see, really.
She naked?
No, those don't.
Then that's the photo I need to see. That's the second
I've
photo.
looked. There you go.
Yeah, dude. All right, yeah, she's something.
Yeah, Liv Morgan rules. She's worth the price of admission.
All right, cancel the band. We're just going to leave this picture up for the next...
Maybe we could interview him with the band.
we might get more people watching if we just left this picture up. You and I stop talking and go away for the next hour.
That's right. So, Tony, you were in Great White, but what do you think of Liv Morgan's ass?
What do you think of Liv Morgan's ass? Check that out there. Tony.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
So I am looking forward to watching it, though, because I think that, now that if I can get it for free.
Yeah.
Well, not free. I mean, I pay for Peacock, so I'm not getting it for free.
Oh, you're getting your use out of Peacock.
I mean, you figure for the year I'm paying, $120 or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, if you're a wrestling fan, Peacock is definitely worth the money because they do 10 pay-per-views a year or whatever they're called now, premium live events. But look, I'm an AEW fan too, and those cost $50 a hit.
Well, I remember back when I was on MMS, I remember I was working so hard, man, working just 7 days a week all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Working overnights and mornings. And finally, I just needed a day off. There was a WrestleMania that was coming up. I can't remember what number it was or whatever. And it was during the Stone Cold Rock era.
Sure.
And so I wanted to see it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to get it on pay-per-view. And it cost me $60, $70 to get this damn thing on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. There you go.
There's Liv Morgan.
How you doing there, Liv?
You'd watch her wrestle, right?
I would watch her do anything, to be honest with you. My dad's watching. I was going to say I'd watch her go to the bathroom, but I don't want to make my dad not proud of me.
I believe it's too late for that.
Too late. Yes, I would watch her wrestle. It's worth the price of admission just for that.
Yeah, it should be fun. And I mean, Logan Paul's going to be wrestling there, and
who's he wrestling?
I don't remember who he's wrestling, but I think he's wrestling Kevin Owens. I think. I'll be honest, I don't watch WWE as hardcore as I used to. I'm more of a AEW guy. So,
why?
But I catch it, but I don't know. WWE's just gotten to be too. It's been better lately, but it got really kind of Hollywood for a while. And I just wasn't digging it. I like the kind of, as much as it's cheesier, I like the cheesier, everybody bleeds in every match on AEW. And I like that. I like the violence of it.
That it's gotten better. WWE has gotten better since Vince has been not.
It has, but it's still got a ways to go. It's still
more of a Triple H production now than it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they still, their women's division is just wrecked. They don't have any really good women's matches going, and I like watching the chicks wrestle.
Yeah, that Nia Jax. I know we're losing most of the people watching, but
I won't be
Nia
putting
Jax,
her picture up.
She's the giant,
fat
black woman.
Yeah, she's Yokozuna's sister, apparently.
But she is not attractive.
No, not at all. And they try to spin her that she is.
Now, the best memes that I've seen to tie this all into politics.
Yeah.
Are the memes of the vice president who now look like Kamala from back in the day of wrestling.
Oh, yeah. They should eventually we're going to see the full paint and everything on her face.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you? I got to see that.
Out there with the entire full paint on Kamala Harris's face of Kamala, or was it Kamala?
Yeah, Kamala.
The Ugandan giant.
Ugandan giant, yeah.
Back in the day. And it was the funniest thing that I've ever seen.
Kamala was great. Now he has no legs. You and him could go and hang out, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
What happened to him?
Diabetes.
Really?
Yeah. Diabetes, lost both his legs.
Wow.
Yeah, he's had a
What is it?
tough go.
Learn how to pronounce your next president's name. I have Donald Trump.
Cackling camel toe. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Cackling camel toe.
So help us all if she wins. She is the farthest left that you could possibly get.
Yeah. No. Her coming out yesterday saying, I am coming for your guns. Done. Not that I had any intention of voting for her anyway. But now I'm going to make sure I tell every one of my friends to vote the other way. You ain't taking my guns. Fuck you, you stupid cunt.
Wow. I'm waiting for Jon Drake to come on in a half hour and tell me what I should look forward to.
You got to look at the positive side of that. At least she didn't say come for the bullets.
Yeah, I got to look for whatever's positive on the left. If we have anybody on...
There we go. I guess I'm wrong. Kamala died in 2020. Did
Oh,
not
really?
know that.
Oh, wow, that sucks.
Well, he got a short casket. I do know that. 'Cause he had no legs.
Wow, dude. I want to be buried with my leg. My casket's going to be just the same. All right, please. Stop with
Well,
that.
you will, but Kamala lost them both.
Well, I'm sure he had prosthetics for both.
Oh, you want to be buried with the prosthetic?
Yes.
You don't want to regift it to some other person?
No.
Come on, you got to do that.
The amount of money that you pay for these prosthetics, I'm taking any prosthetic that I have throughout my entire life and sticking it in the casket with me.
You don't look at the fake leg the way you would look at like an organ donation?
No.
Why?
Well, it's molded to my leg. It's not exactly designed
they
for
can-
somebody else's leg.
They could adapt that. Little heat
Plus,
melt it a little bit.
I paid for the T-shirt that made the Superman on it. I'm keeping my leg.
You wouldn't want to help somebody out? Some other person that's going through it and struggling to pay for it?
No, nobody's helping me.
Yeah, I know. So you gotta pay it forward.
I didn't get a gifted leg. It's not like I got
Yeah, but
somebody's
you gotta pay it
donated
forward,
leg.
or else if nobody pays it forward, then it stays fucking broken.
Nobody paid it for it, paid whatever to me. Paying it my way.
So you gotta be generous.
If I get another one, I'm keeping that one too.
Will you donate any organs?
They don't want my organs. My organs.
What if they did? What if they wanted your eyes or something? Would you donate that?
Yes, I would donate. I am an organ donator, but I don't think I can actually donate because I am diabetic.
Yeah, that is true. But well, I see Tony trying to connect, but it ain't connecting.
It ain't
Oh,
happening.
that's not good.
We're gonna be talking SummerSlam for the next half hour,
That's all right.
or I'll find something about the left that I like,
Oh, I have a bunch of stories that we can
which
can
is
do
impossible.
if we need. But yeah, I don't know. He is not connecting, so I am gonna.
Wait,
No,
I thought it was going.
I don't know if we want to. No, it ain't good.
I mean, she is so bad. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, I do understand it. I understand that they needed to do something. The politically correct thing to do was to, go with Kamala Harris.
Right.
You had to push somebody in, and you weren't going to go past the black woman that was the vice president.
She's not
to
black.
Pick, what, another white guy? I know she's not black. She's Jamaican and Indian or whatever, an Asian, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's you weren't going to go past the minority woman, the vice president, to get to another one. It's another white guy, so I would absolutely donate my organ to Liv Morgan.
Give her the Morgan organ, so to speak.
No, I wouldn't. I've disappointed enough women in my life. I'm not going to disappoint a WWE superstar as well.
Yeah. I'd imagine it'd be tough to date any of them. As unbelievably hot and spoiled as they are, I'd imagine that's not fun.
Look, but when I started dating my wife, I think I had more confidence back then.
Right?
I was on the radio and stuff like that. I still am on the radio, but
Right.
I was on MMS and going to all the concerts, and there was a lot of cool stuff that I was doing back in the day. And when I met my wife, she was actually dating a wrestler, a guy that went
Right.
to
All right.
school,
There he
wrestling
is.
school. So I was a little intimidated, but I was
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
I could do it again.
Well, let's
All
do
right.
this, dude. Let's play a little bit of music, and then we will come back with Tony Montana, from formerly of Great White, currently of, I don't know if I could say currently of, but he's been a member of Jack Russell's Great White as well, and he has his own band, Shadow and the Thrill. So let's check out a little bit of that music, and then we will come back and chat with Tony Montana right here
Fantastic.
on the Seth Williams Show.
I can't resist, can't remember the sound of my wheels hitting the road. No need to be sentimental. I'm a 10-ton bus and I'm ready to roar.
Fantastic stuff, man. And we got to welcome Tony to the show. Good afternoon.
What is up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
We
dude.
got
Oh, good. All right, cool.
Good.
Cool.
Well,
It's good. Glad to be here, man.
It's great to talk to you, man. And dude, Shadow and the Thrill. Not gonna lie, I really didn't know anything about it until your publicist banged it into my head. But what a great bluesy rock thing you're doing, man. Fantastic.
Yeah. We're. I'm surprised that was the track you guys had access to, but yeah. It's definitely down that road, right? Like blues oriented, or
Sure.
even at some point, even almost our little taste of R&B as well. So but still, it's a rock band, play guitar and having fun doing that. So
Right on,
Yeah.
man. Well, why don't you give us a background on this band, man, on Shadow and the Thrill? Unless I'm crazy, this started around the pandemic time, yes?
yeah, we released just at the top of the pandemic, 2020, the first album. And speaking of being crazy, the first song that we did release is our cover of, it's a blues cover of Gnarls Barkley's
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
So we're it's it was a good time to be at home and watch things on YouTube, and and it was a shitty time too. Actually, I had a pretty nasty accident at the back end of 2020 that laid me up for almost a year.
Oof.
But there was no gigs, there was nothing else to do but lay on my back and heal. So the album did what it did, and then we just started getting out. As soon as everybody started playing again, I started going out with Jack and playing those shows, and started doing some Shadow and the Thrill shows, and just got busy, got down to business.
Right on. Well, dude, with Shadow and the Thrill, obviously it's a very different time, musically, and the industry, what's left of the industry
Right.
is shredded.
Right.
How does a guy like you, now you obviously have, you have some name recognition to you, and you obviously were in Great White in the biggest period of Great White, really, with Hooked and Twice Shy and, that era. Is that enough to launch a new band and get interested in a new band? Or do you feel like you're back in the clubs fighting for every listener again?
Oh, it's absolutely that. And there are pros and cons, right, to this era, and that is that I can put out whatever I want whenever I want, and that's good. Not having the institutional support of record labels and that kind of thing that makes it rough. But you have to hope that the cream rises to the top, and I'm making sure that whatever we put out is really top notch, and work with top notch people, and hopefully the songs are good. And so far, everybody seems to be liking everything that we've done. And the new single "Bleeding Out" is getting a little traction here and there. So
Right on.
you know.
Yeah, and we will play that to end the interview.
Oh, right
It's not that we didn't get it. I just wanted to hold it to, leave people once you decide to leave, then yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Now, speaking of times being different, do you want to punch the creator of Spotify like right in the fucking throat because they're taking away what you guys do for a living, really, which is trying to sell records and make music like that?
Well, that started so far back. I mean, as far as Napster, right? Like, really, that was it. That was the end, man. We were all just, dinosaurs looking up at the asteroid coming down. And,
right.
If again, like, there's still pros and cons, I guess, I've had, we've had listeners on Spotify, and that's been good. I don't like the comment he made recently, right? Like, that content is so easy to, calling it all content. It's like,
that's a guy that never woke up at 3 a.m. with a riff and stayed up 2 days to write it out.
Right. That is, and that is what it is really all about. And now, I'm involved with other technology companies, and I'm involved with my own company called Venue, and we're at the forefront of a lot of these things that are happening right now, and metaverse and AI, and all these things of all this news of AI creating music, and it just makes you go, well, we're going to be as real as possible, right? And we're going to go out and play. So I think that's the next push, is that, if you want to see real human beings trying to communicate and play that riff that I heard at 3 a.m. and tried to make real, then come on out. And that's the only place you're going to get that kind of visceral, communal experience anymore. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get out there and play.
I'm an old school guy, I guess. I like having something physical in my hands. I have Spotify because I feel like I have to have Spotify if I want to hear stuff. But I like going to the record store and buying a CD or an album and putting it in the car and being able to listen to it. Now it's just not the same to me. And musicians, you guys got to be frustrated with the way things are going. I don't know. The AI stuff is crazy too.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some different things, and it's a little disturbing and still not very good in my eyes. But the generation of that's coming up now, I don't know if they really look at music as the way we did, in that we would buy a record or CD or whatever and listen to it all the way through and read the liner notes and all that stuff. It's more background, I think, to them, and it doesn't matter if it's created by a computer. It's just noise, right? Mm-hmm. Noise that they can take their selfies by. So I don't know, man. I mean, I have 2 sons that are just a little bit older than that, and so I've watched them grow up and watch them adopt music into their life, right? So what's interesting to me is that a lot of them like vinyl. Sure. And vinyl, I didn't even have a turntable when they sent me, the label sent me my last album, Sugar Bowl. They sent me a test pressing, and I was like, oh, great. Look at this. This is interesting. This black thing. I didn't even have a turntable. And then I finally got one, and what a revelation, it's such a different world to listen to analog recording on, well, it's actually a digital recording, but at least it's on analog.
Right.
And you can hear, I heard things on my own album that I didn't remember doing. So vinyl, I think is still, it's going to be around for a little bit, and it's, we'll do this next you know, bunch of songs. We'll do about 10 songs. We'll get them out one at a time, and then we'll drop another vinyl out there when it comes time.
Sure. What is it? You know, I'm going to go back to what you were saying, but I'm going to be the devil's advocate a little bit here, even though I don't necessarily love this. I always say that it's our fault because we didn't raise our kids. Like, I'm 55. I've got 30-year-old boys. They don't know anything about albums. You know, they know nothing about an album. They were raised by me handing them iTunes cards,
right,
and buying a single year and you know, I did a bad job personally of teaching my kids that. I think we all did. I think we all were enamored with not having to have a big CD book on the passenger seat to drive with, you know, and we were enamored to have it on our phone with a pair of headphones and just go, or an iPod back in the day.
Gosh, I miss even iPods.
Me too.
I even miss that.
But the thing that I see most coming though now is because we've raised these kids so dependent on their phones, so dependent on iPads and computers, they're way more, where us old people, we're way more interested in finding out that Bob Clearmountain did that John Bon Jovi record or whatever.
Right.
They're way more interested in throwing on an Oculus set and seeing a pretend set of, yeah, there you go, you know, and
I was going to wear this when we came on just to be a dork, just to be a total nerd.
Right.
Geek. But yeah, I mean, I get it.
That's and you see bands are moving. Kiss, ABBA, you know, they're moving, and while they're saying that they're doing it for the stage, my thought is the way this direction is going to go is that a band, we'll just use Kiss as an example. They're going to come up with sets from each era of their existence, a Dynasty set, Animalized set, you know, and they're going to sell that. They're going to sell that as an expansion pack for $65 that people can buy on their Oculus.
Right.
It's going to make it even worse for you guys.
Well, I'm diving right in. Actually, we, as Shadow and the Thrill, we are going to be doing a simulcast through a couple of different companies. A company called Stage It, which my company's it's part of my company venue. Stage It is a live performance, ticketed live performance thing.
Right.
And then we're going to do it simulcast with a company out of the UK called Iora, which is a metaverse, which is why I'm studying this whole thing. And we will do that in the metaverse as well. So, yeah, I mean, you can't fight it. So you got to might as well embrace it, you know?
Sure.
It's like, it took me a while to get an amp modeler, right? Like for all those musician nerds out there, muso nerds, it took me a while to just go, okay, I'm just going to get it and try it and play with it. And now can't live without it.
Right.
You know, not that I don't like or miss plugging directly into a amp or a Marshall or Soldano or whatever. That's still very, very valid, right? But this is just, it's about convenience sake, and God, it sounds pretty damn good. So, well, you know, you just get a roll with it, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, too. One of the big reasons you guys do this, and on one of my other shows, my co-host, Eric Ferentinos from Stephen Piercy's band, who I'm sure you've run into over the years.
Sure.
But he uses that as well. And he told me point blank, it's because a lot of times the backline is garbage that you guys get brought. But if you've got that modeler, you can sound really, really high end with, you know, if you model it to a 5150 head or whatever, or amp, or, you know, you can capture that sound even through a cheap amp. And that makes you guys look better. You almost have, that's almost like stage clothes now. You have to do that, no?
Well, let's, you know, really what we're talking about at the end of the day is it's about the cost, right? Mm-hmm. Like it really is. A band like mine, normally when we fly out to do shows, first of all, we're flying out to do shows. So we're not dragging a bunch of amps and stuff with us.
Right.
There's always rented gear there. And so there are these different echelons, of touring and playing live. And, at a certain level, that's the only way really you can do it. Either you're going to play through some rented stuff that is, who knows if it's beat up. Sometimes it's great, man. Sometimes you're like, hey, would you want to sell this head? There's been a couple of those times for me too. But yeah, it's about cost, and same thing with the studio. With making albums and people say, oh, auto tune this and that's really bad. You know what? I've used it, and it's simply because it's a time issue. If I had a month blocked out at the record plant like they used to do back in the day, yeah, I can do a couple takes and go off and have some fun at night and then come back next day, try it again. That's not the way that it is anymore, at least not for us. So it's about expediency, man. It's about you're trying to be efficient.
You're a content creator. Maybe Eck is right.
I'm a content creator. Damn it. Creating content.
Hey, real quick. First, I want to tell you that my wife just sent me a text saying that you were the hottest guy in Great White.
Oh.
So I'm happy.
That's a pretty low threshold.
It used to be a high bar. Come on.
I'm happy that you're on, so that way maybe
Yeah,
my night will be better
her.
when my wife gets home.
God bless her. God bless her.
So, I thank God for guys like you because you're still making good rock music. What do you think about the rock music today? Because I personally think it's kind of lacking. It's just not the same. I mean, you're not going to see bands like what you do ever again, in my opinion. You're not going to see the younger generation coming out with good rock music.
It's funny. Every once in a while when I'm playing out, there will be some young guys like 20s. I just did a show here in LA. Well, not just did it, but just played a club here called the Mint. And, the guys that got on after me, they were some young cats, right? Like 20s. And they got up and they were knocking out some blues oriented rock guitar music. And they were real about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, that's awesome. It's still valid, man. So it's just going to take a while. It always comes back around. And, we're going to try to be some of the guys that bring it back around. And I love to play for younger folks too, because it does open their eyes a little bit.
Sure. Definitely. Well, dude, let me ask you a question or two about Great White.
Sure.
Back in the 80s, and I've done 5 zillion interviews at this point. I mean, literally, it's probably like 5,000 or 6,000 interviews. I've interviewed everybody. And universally, the hardest partying band was always Great White. Every band says that. Every single band tells me that.
Wow.
Is that true in your eyes? Because you joined it probably at the height of the partying, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
Was that true? And how did that legend come to be, if it is true?
Well, let's face it, a lot of that is riding on Jack's shoulders, right?
Right.
And the truth of it is that I was almost clandestine in what my my activities were in those days. So, I've definitely had a couple nights out with Jack where it was almost lights out, man. So yeah. So yeah, it was pretty hardcore sometimes.
Okay,
but,
what is the groupie situation like now compared to then? There's still buses and vans full of hot chicks with their tops off, hanging out.
Man,
no,
gosh,
not the same.
No, it's not like it. You know what though? I love when folks come up to us and just are, they just love to share those memories of those times, because
Sure.
that's when all of us were young and hot, and you know, all of us could just let it all hang out back in those days. So, and I love to sit there and reminisce with folks, especially when I go out, when I've been out playing with Jack and doing that whole thing. I'll tell you what, I mean, I also, just for fun here at home, I joined a couple of my buddies to do a Journey tribute band.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, that's a little bit different situation, because the age range is, I mean, there's 20s to 60s, 70s.
Right.
It's like the whole range. So that's been kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Those folks are having a good time. And even if they're young, they're bouncing around and dancing and singing the songs, which is cool too. That's really, it warms my heart when I see that. I think, yeah, that there's still some hope. They get it. They get the energy of it.
Right on. Well, dude, let me ask you the tough one, because obviously you would know, we all saw the news about Jack, and that's super unfortunate to hear. Have you heard from him since he announced his retirement, and how's he doing?
I've literally had very, very little contact with him since.
Okay.
Yeah, we just chatted for a little bit, and it was more about my old friend Jack,
Right.
So that's kind of what we chatted about, and we always reminisce too. We have a lot of fun stories we like to recount.
Sure.
And reminisce about. But yeah, it's done, and that's a shame. And it is. I think the biggest loss was that, in 2012, before I started working with Jack again, or even considering playing Great White music again, because I've been very removed from that for many years. I thought, it's the 25th anniversary of Twice Shy. I decided that I was ready, and I thought there's some value there for the five of us to play together again. Mark, Lardy, Audie, Jack, and myself. And so I reached out to both parties. I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm ready. If you guys want to get back and hang and heal that rift." And it's a shame that never happened. And I was continued to be an advocate for it up until just very recently. And it's a shame that those other cats didn't sit up and take notice, because I told them, I was very frank with them. I said, you know what? There's a shelf. There's there's an expiration date on this, man.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with, money or willingness to do it. And they just didn't want to listen. So
Well, it is unfortunate. And the thing is, and Jack's health aside, and I don't mean to sound like a callous dick here, but I did see that you guys did place a show or two after the announcement, like with somebody else singing. Is there any thought that the band will continue in some other form, or was that just contractual obligations need to honor the commitments thing?
It's a little bit of all of those things, I guess. And I'm not the first guy to jump up and say, hey, by the way, I'm one of the guys from that era, and
sure,
I should be able to go out and do whatever I want. And the truth is that I am, and I'm going to do whatever I want.
Right.
So yeah, maybe we'll get out there and continue. We're gonna do these shows that we've kind of renegotiated or whatever. And Andrew Freeman has been a real shot in the arm.
Sure.
He's obviously a stellar vocalist, and he's a fun dude. And there's no reason why we shouldn't, I think. So we'll see how it goes. I'm busy, man. Shit. Between this Journey tribute band, which holy moly, just literally blew up and just took over my life, seems like.
Right.
But I've got, my single now and Shadow and the Thrill shows. Actually, I need to announce that we're going to be in Decatur, Illinois on October 11th at the Lincoln Theater. I'm sorry, Lincoln Square Theater.
Okay.
So we'll be out there and start knocking out some dates in the Midwest for Shadow and the Thrill too. So I get to come home a couple days, repack my underwear or not, and get out there and bring the rock to the people, man.
I still love being on the road.
I would really like to be in a more traditional road situation where we're on a bus. Flying doing these flight dates is rough. And I just sit on a plane. I'm hyper spaz anyways. And sitting on a plane for 4 hours, it just irks me, man.
Right.
But it's what we do. And the other thing is dragging instruments along,
Right. And they jerk you around. They jerk you guys around, especially you guitar players, endlessly with the
bass players
baggage.
is worse. Thank God I'm not playing bass right now.
Right.
Because basses are, they're big. They don't want to let them put in the overhead bins. Besides that, even putting things in the overhead bin or whatever, I'm so fortunate to be associated with PRS. I'm Shadow and Thrill myself and PRS artist now. And I love my instruments that these guys have made for me. And when I take them on the road, I put them in these, impenetrable flight cases.
Right.
And you hand them off to TSA. Wow, man. Really? Do they really need to take it out of the case?
Yeah. And
play
with it and stuff, right? And
right. I don't know what they're doing with them. Yeah, I know that last time I did it, I got a nasty ding down to the wood in the back of one of my instruments. And I just was just furious. It's just like, what the hell? You guys, I'm not hiding cocaine in there. Shit.
Right.
Anymore.
Nice. Well, Tony, I figure we wrap this one up with the new single, Bleeding Out. Why don't you tell us about the single and give the plugs where people can keep up with you and all that stuff?
Sure. We actually wrote the song quite a while back and actually did a live in the studio at PRS Artist Relations here in Los Angeles. Did that live and so we decided to go in the studio and do it proper. Do a proper studio recording of it, and now you're seeing that. And the video is a little bit of that and a little bit of a show I did in St. Louis recently. But we're very, very happy with that, and it's getting a little traction on radio, and we're getting some video views and stuff. As far as keeping up with us, obviously, please jump out on the Shadow and the Thrill YouTube page and subscribe, and we'll keep putting videos out there, and our Facebook page and Instagram is always, obviously, that's always active. So love to keep track of everybody, and let people know what we're doing.
Excellent. Well, one more time, the band is Shadow and the Thrill. Tony Montana, of course, is leading it, singing in it. He's going to be doing something other than that. You can see him play some Journey if you're out in L.A. You can see him. I'm going to think that we're going to see you all around the country playing some of this stuff, whether it's Shadow and the Thrill or something else. Yes?
As long as I'm breathing, I'm going to go out there and just try to bring it.
Right on.
Thank you.
Well, Tony, this has been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll wrap now with Bleeding Out. So check it out. It's Shadow and the Thrill right here.
Cheers, brothers.
See you, man.
Seth Williams Show.
My see bleeding out in front of me. I was already gone. Broke my heart just for you. You don't know what I'm going through. I was already gone. I was already
Thank God there's still good music being made, man.
That's a straight up rock band there, man.
Yeah, it's good
I
shit.
like that.
Cool.
Yeah, that was good. What is this?
So just
Were
when
you
I
at
went to
Def
Def
Leppard
Leppard
last night?
concert last night. The real show was the hot chicks in the stands and barely wore enough clothing because it was so hot outside. I heard mixed reviews about that show. I heard Cheap Trick sucked. I heard Journey sucked, and then I heard Def Leppard was fantastic.
I've heard Def Leppard was fantastic. I really haven't heard much about the others. I heard that the only person I heard from was my old intern Jeremy from 92.3, and but he likes everything. As long as he could get it on a Groupon, he thinks it's the greatest show of all time. So he's that guy. Every show that guy sees is prefaced by, I got this on a 2-for-1 Groupon for $12 for a $340 ticket.
My
Like,
wife
all
does-
right, we hear you. You're cheap. We got it.
My wife does the same thing. She'll go into like TJ Maxx or one of these stores and comes out with a bag every damn night. And I go, what? And she goes, well, it was on sale. Usually it's like $85. I only paid $20. So it was really on
that's better.
every night. Okay, thank you.
That's better than the zero you spent, right?
Hey, I wake up in the morning, like it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, get ready for work or whatever. And I go, yeah, hey, honey. Yeah, we got to stop at Bath and Body Works tonight. I was like, why? Well, I couldn't sleep last night and they had a sale. I was like, oh, get the hell out of here. Every night they have a sale. In the middle of the night, somehow Bath and Body Works has a sale like 3 o'clock in the morning that my wife finds.
Right.
All right, let's welcome our next guest to the show.
All right.
Who wants to call me out, or I guess I want to call him out. Bloom Doggy himself. Jon
What's
Drake.
up, guys?
How are
What's
you?
going on? I'm
Why
good,
are you
man. How
wearing
are
your
you?
X-Wing helmet?
I'm not wearing an X-Wing helmet. Shut the hell up.
That's his real hair? Oh, shit.
It's growing out, and it's in that awkward stage, and so every time.
When
Nikki
did you
sees
start
it-
working at Elk and Elk?
It's that awkward stage
Not-
called gay.
Oh my God! Here we go.
All right,
Oh,
so,
boy.
I wanted to have you on just for a few minutes, anyways, because we have to have you on for a longer period of time at some point and talk about the Browns and do a whole Browns preview show before the season starts, which is pretty soon. But I wanted to have you on because you kind of called me out on Facebook, and I think you're kind of a dick. You made mention to me because all I did was post a video that Bob France made with a song that he made about Kamala Harris.
Okay.
And so I think it's pretty funny. I mean, it's entertaining. If you're older, you'll know the song. And so I think it was done well. And so I shared it because I work for his show and I think that it's shareable. And so I shared it, and then you had to comment on it. Now, you had to comment on it for whatever reason. And you said that, come on, Seth, don't be one of those people.
Yeah.
But you said, don't be one of those people who's right or left all the way, blah, 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 blah. You can find good on both sides.
Yep.
And so I wanted to ask you, because you didn't answer like on the thing. I said, there's nothing on the left that I like. What exactly on the left would I like? And I want you to tell me what there is on the left that I would like. Now, Chris says you're politically retarded. So maybe you don't know what's on the left.
No. So, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, I work in health insurance, and there has been a reduction in medication costs. So as a small little thing, okay, I would say that would be something that, I would look at that's good. I mean, when you guys were talking earlier, I mean, Chris is right. I don't pay attention that dummy Habu in the chat, he said I'm ignorant, but that fucker can't even spell the word mannequin. I typed in there, I said, yeah, it's willful ignorance. Like, I don't like politics because people get so worked up over it. And most people that get that worked up aren't educated about it. So that's why I don't, go on a political soapbox or anything. I look at issues that are important to me and say, okay, well, which guy is on my side on this? It's like, okay. I don't subscribe. Isn't it called libertarian or something? If you're like down the middle or something?
Yeah. I take 9 medications a day.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've been taking them for a while, and I really haven't noticed anything being all that cheap, considering I do have health insurance and stuff.
You're not elderly.
I'm not elderly, I guess. But my question to you is, you got to list some things that I should look at on the left, because I am politically educated, in my opinion. I do it for a living. I literally have to read articles on a day-to-day basis about the different subjects, and probably says, blow me. There you go. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to look at on the left, because I don't think anything on the left is a good policy. Abortion, I don't think is a good policy. I don't think
that's where you're wrong.
Stance on immigration is a good policy. I don't think there's you can go down the list, and I don't think they're good policy. The economics plan, I don't think is a good policy.
Okay.
And taxing the rich, I don't think is just a great policy. People that are rich, people that own corporations, I'm sure you have a job that you work for somebody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they were taxed to the point that they were broke, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to find out what you think I should look at and like.
Well, see, the way that I look at it, and again, as Chris mentioned, I'm pretty ignorant to all this stuff. So, but I will say, I think that in life, there are very few things that are black and white. Like a lot of people would say, well, I'm only on the left or I'm only on the right. Like, like pedophilia, that's pretty much black and white. Because if you go, yeah, I support pedophilia, well, then you're banging kids. So that's a black and white issue. You know what I mean?
By the way, that is up for debate these days, but that's a whole thing. It is. Right. I saw a thing just yesterday that somebody doesn't want them to be called pedophiles anymore. It's child interested adults or something like that.
And I would guarantee you that is a left policy.
Yes. Yeah. The softening of language, man. Like the old George Carlin sketch, man. It's sad. Just call them pedophiles. In fact, no, call them kid fuckers, because that's
call them dead.
Yeah. Thank you. Exactly.
On the left, I don't agree with gender reassignment for kids that are like toddlers and kids that come home and tell their mommy and daddy that they want to change their sex, or schools where they don't tell the parents what's going on with children who want to change their sex. I can't think of anything on the left that I support. And so I think in my opinion, it is black or white with me. It is absolutely black or white. To me, the saving of our country is at stake this coming November.
All right, let me throw this at Seth. I'll throw it to Seth, and John, you could jump in as well.
Okay.
Should gay marriage, just that marriage, not banging in the ass, should gay marriage be outlawed?
Oh, am I answering first?
Yeah.
When you're talking politically or morally, what are you?
I'm talking politically.
Politically, then I don't think that there should. I mean, I think that should be fine. Morally,
well, that's a left policy that
I wouldn't say
you agree with.
Look, I'm not for regulating who you love. Now, I do believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. But then fine. If it's politically, then I would say yes, outlawed.
So you asked to name one. I just named one.
Right. I don't agree with it, though.
Well, you don't have to physically agree with it. Look, if gay guys or gay women want to suffer the way that straight people do, go ahead, get married. That's fine.
Nice.
But I mean, as far as it being a law, and it's weird because I know both of you guys. Like I could pull an issue that I know you both are pro right side on, and I'm pro left on. I know you both would outlaw marijuana yesterday.
Absolutely.
I know that.
I don't know where I stand on that one.
All
that's kind of a weird one to me. I don't think I've made up my mind on that yet.
Why? So where do you draw the line?
that's one of the things that I take into consideration. I mean, I think it, in general, from my personal experience with, I did it one time. That's the only drug I've ever touched in my life. But, from my experience with, having a lot of friends who do that, it's less problematic in a lot of situations than alcohol. And if alcohol is good, then why shouldn't marijuana be? You know what I mean? It's like,
how do you say that it's causes less problems than alcohol? What stats do you have to prove that?
Again, personal experience from what I have witnessed. I have, a lot of friends that smoke and, even more friends that drink. I mean, shit, dude, being a musician on the side, all of us drink, and I've seen many more problems caused by alcohol than by marijuana. So, and that's how I look at all these issues, man. It's like, what is my personal experience? It's, I can only go by what I see personally. And so the marijuana thing, it's like, I mean, I would think I don't have a problem with it, but I would have to think about it a little more than just going, well, some of my friends are total screw ups and they got DUIs and hit people, getting drunk, but never did anything with weed. So,
Talking about me?
No, ironically, no. Now, hitting things, yes, but that's just because you're a god awful, terrible driver. So
I hit you once. That was on alcohol, not drugs.
All right, is that for real? Is he actually hit you?
Yeah. Yeah.
He clocked you like in the face?
No, he with a car.
No, well, I did that too. I forgot about that. No, I was telling him the story about when me and you got in the fight here in my living room.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I mean, Chris and I are best friends, but like that doesn't preclude, like, if I mouth off and he don't like it, that he's not going to smack me around a little bit. So that's legit.
Hey, well, I mean, not to mouth off. So what happens in November with a guy like you? I mean, if you're politically ignorant, that's what you say. I'm not calling you that. I'm saying that's what you describe yourself as.
No, yeah, I admit it.
So how do you make a decision then come November? What do you base your opinion on? Are you just not going to vote, or what do you do?
Again, I have to do my research, and watching the debates is one thing, and I watch that, and I see how much bullshit's being slung back and forth. Like, if they touch on something that is an issue that I give a shit about, then I try to look it up, and I try to say, okay, well, were they lying about it? What's the actual stance here? Like, where do I want to go?
So what issues matter to you? I guess is what because I can name 100 different issues that matter to me.
Sure.
As far as making our country right. But what issues matter to you that you would sit there and say, all right, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump because these issues matter more to me?
Obviously, this is going to sound pretty like stock, but as Chris has mentioned many times, and I mean, you too, Seth, like the gas prices and grocery prices. I mean, that I have a long commute to work. It's about 50 minutes one way. The band I sing in is one way is 2 hours, and I'm doing that like 40 or 50 times a year. I have family out of town. So gas prices literally hit me where it hurts. I've got 4 people in my household. So groceries going up, like, I was just at the grocery store today and I was buying some fresh fish and it was like $15.99 a pound for something that a couple of years ago was $9.99 a pound. You know what I mean? So things like that. There's another issue that is the abortion issue is something important to me, but it's not something that I discuss openly.
Kill him.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I kind of look at it, and it really is. If something pops up and I go, oh, you know what? I'm kind of passionate about that one side or the other, I'll look into it. So, and I'm not one of those people that subscribes to the whole, well, Donald Trump is a moron. His bad tweets and Orange Man bad and all that crap. I don't like that he, attacks people like a petulant little third grader. But that's neither here nor there. Like, to me, it's like, okay, what are you going to do for the country? Like, just stop insulting people and let's get to the fucking real issues. Both sides, And
that's where I fall, is that I get mad at people because they sit there and they have such a hatred for Trump because they don't like him as a person, but they don't look at and see what he can do or has done for the country policy-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want illegal immigration running through this country like crazy. I don't want illegals who are here to be able to vote, which is what they're trying to do now. I don't want. Look, I've given up. There's no way that abortion will ever be nationally banned. It won't happen. I mean, no president will ever be able to do it. And so, and nor do I think that maybe it should. I don't like it. I hate it. I think it's awful. But I think that it's a state's issue, and I think that's what Donald Trump wants to do. He said he wants to do, because that's what we are. We're a Republican, so it should be a state's issue. You don't like
Free
it?
hangers
Move.
at Walmart.
I mean, you don't like it? Get the hell out. Move. You can go wherever you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to all these different issues, the gas prices, the inflation with the groceries, again, like you, I went and bought spaghetti stuff and some pet food. I walked out there $62 light out of my pocket. For what? For a meal that used to cost me $14.
Yep.
And so everything is more expensive. And
Yeah.
so I have a list of things, and I can't think of anything on the left that I'm sitting there going, that's a great idea. Like Chris brought up the gay marriage thing. Again, I could care less whether it's legal or illegal. It doesn't matter to me. So it's not an issue that I support on the left. It's something that I could just give a shit less about. I mean, marijuana, that's a left issue. I could care less, I guess, if you smoke it. If you want to smoke it, have a good old time. But do I think that it should be legal everywhere? Probably not. I think it leads to other things that are eventually going to be legal, which I don't agree with. So, I mean, I can't find anything that I support to make me want to vote another way.
Well, and I'll phrase it this way. Like, I mean, I think Chris proved the point that I was trying to make was, even if it's just one thing where you went, yeah, okay, gay marriage is fine. Like, that's one thing. So you may be 99% one way, but you're not 100%. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make, is that, and as much as I love him, Aiken brought up my older brother earlier in the show, and he's incredibly intelligent, mental level IQ, and he researches this stuff. I don't know what got into him, man. What hair got up his ass in the last few years, but
you grew enough.
Hey, he's got longer hair than me. He's had long hair my entire life. But like he digs into this stuff. Like, I mean, he lives, eats, sleeps, breathes this stuff, and he's so pro-Trump, as Aiken said. And I've told him, I said, see, you do all this research, but every single one of your conclusions magically comes out where the right is correct. Like, that just can't be. Like, with the amount of stuff you read and look into and all this other stuff, like, there's no way. So I just think, that there are some people, a lot of people, I would say, that tend to just go, well, I'm on the right, so everything's, that. Or, one of my cousins, like the day that Joe Biden announced that, he was dropping out of the race, we were at a family function with him, and I'm thinking, I bet this guy would vote for like roadkill instead of Donald Trump. And sure as shit, like 5 minutes later, he's like, I'd vote for Joe Biden in a coma before I'd vote for Donald Trump. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That because that's a well-informed opinion. That's helpful. The whole anybody but this guy thing, like, that's just stupid. So I don't subscribe to the one side or the other only.
All right, well, we got to move because we have Tony Musachio, but we're gonna. I might be better friends with your brother. I don't know.
He's a cool dude, man. And you can, Lord knows you guys would get along perfectly, man. So
the conversation would never end.
Yeah, it would never end. I do want to have you on sometime soon, maybe next week or something. If you're not busy, I'd like to do a Browns preview show, because I think the Hall of Fame game is next weekend. And so the NFL season.
I think it's Thursday this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
You're right. It is
this
Thursday.
Week, not next week.
Is it? Yeah, they're right. And so I want to get some football talking maybe next week if you're available.
Yeah, next week or the week after. That's fine.
Yeah, we can talk some Browns and see how the season's going to shape out. And I look forward to that. So I appreciate you coming on today, my friend.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
And by the record, John, I would never hit you like one Chris Aiken.
I'd hit him again.
But
who you
I was going to say I would be lying if I didn't say I deserved it.
See?
I admit it. If you're going to poke the bear, you're going to get the claws. That's all I know.
Look, a couple bottles of vodka downed. We all lost our cool a little bit. Maybe we should have both been smoking weed instead of drinking very excessively.
Legalize it, man.
Thanks, John.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, later,
see you, man.
From that, he's a good dude, man. Despite his haircut, I love that guy.
John's great. I mean, we get along. I mean, he's obviously one of my absolute closest people.
Yeah.
So
All right. Switching gears now. Let's go to Tony Musachio, food reporter, restaurant reporter. Tony, how are you?
Superstar. There he is.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Hey, Tony.
Fantastic. How are you?
I always have a lovely day on Wednesday evenings at 5:15. Because you know I got bourbon in front of me, I got food, and I have a famous chef. You want to take?
Hey, how you doing? Chris,
Hey, how are you?
Of course.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about your place and about everything that you're offering, man.
Yeah, we're down in Little Italy at the corner of Cornell Road and Random, right across the bridge from University Hospital. This used to be the old Club Isabella space. We've been here for now a little over a year and a half. Trying to do the best work we can for the community and for Little Italy and Cleveland.
Sure.
You got the feast coming up, right?
The feast comes up, yeah. It's just in 2 weeks, the 15th through the 18th.
Right on. How difficult is it in today's world where more and more people do not want to come out and just want to DoorDash everything? Is it hard to get people to come out and enjoy a quality meal instead of just getting a styrofoam container?
It is. There's definitely a effect. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of with DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and all that. It's a lot. I mean, people like the convenience of it. We do takeout, but we don't subscribe to DoorDash and Grubhub.
Okay.
The amount that companies take out of that cuts too far into, I think, our bottom line. So it's a hard, margins are already so close and so tight. It's really a hard pill to swallow for us. But we do a fair amount of takeout, especially during the day because of the hospitals.
Right.
So we have a lot of staff, that will walk across the bridge. They get 45 minutes, so they, order in before their shift is up. Come over, pick up for the whole department, and walk back over. So that's great. Our dine-in, is doing really well still though. Being in Little Italy, it could be a little challenging getting down here and parking, but we have our own valet, we have our own lot, we have our own street parking. So, we've tried to navigate, make that a little bit easier for our guests, and I think our guests, show up and appreciate that.
Sure.
Tell us about the food.
All right, so food, right here I've got this is our, first off, this is our short rib arancini, or our croquette. It is beef and potato, hand-shredded short rib. It comes with a little gorgonzola cream sauce on the bottom. Our calamari has a spicy tomato sauce on the bottom, Fresno peppers, chorizo aioli, scallions, and nori. And then these are our tempura fried squash blossoms. They're stuffed with jalapeno, cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and roasted corn. We do a little ranchero on there, as long as avocado cream sauce.
Wow.
I should have a weight problem.
I have to think that every doctor that works at that hospital has a weight problem because I know for a fact from dealing with the hospitals, they have their cafeterias all sterilized. That's all perfect for you, man. You could eat a dry turkey sandwich, or you can come across the street and have that. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. And we do a really good lunch business, huge salads, sandwiches, we always feature at least 2 soups. For dinner, everything from salmon. I have monkfish. We do tuna. I got some amazing bluefin tuna in today for the weekend.
Burger night. Tonight is burger night on Wednesdays.
Wednesday's burger night. So we do all of our burgers and selected sandwiches are $15. We got tater tots the size of grenades for $6. We've got onion rings, French fries, you name it. We have a soft serve machine. So we do soft serve ice cream cones on Wednesday nights.
Oh, this is wonderful. Did you hear that? Tater tots. That got your appeal, didn't it, Seth?
I'm telling you, you lost me with some of the healthy stuff. I don't know what a squash blossom is, but you got me with tater tots, that's for sure.
There you go.
What's also cool about this? They have signature drinks. So they have bourbons and tequilas and vodkas, and they make these wonderful craft drinks happy hour from 3 o'clock till 6, 3 to 5.
Okay.
And again, that's what's cool about this. I had a friend of mine there. Him and his wife were just here momentarily. They live in the neighborhood, and they just come here for cocktails. So here's a great area where, again, that's that Little Italy, where you can just walk down the street. We've talked about this before at the other restaurants that we were at in this area, where, you know, it's a destination point for restaurants, which has really become so popular just in Cleveland.
Right. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not there, obviously, but the one thing I do notice, it's a lot quieter in your place than a lot of the other places that Tony goes. It sounds like it's not an overly bustling, you know, to the point of being annoying place.
Well, I have 32-foot gabled ceilings above us. So,
oh, wow.
So it's one room. But it is very large and open. But we have really high ceilings, so a lot of that noise, a lot of that goes up into the rafters, which is nice, you know. So you know, our bar, you know, seats 16, so a lot of that, just, you know, you don't hear that so much on the booths on the other side of the dining room, which is nice.
And you know,
it looks beautiful.
You know, again, this is a professional setting. A lot of people that walk through here, like Chris said, you're literally looking at doctors and, you know, the university and lawyers and Case Western Reserve. So there's no bouncer at the door. Let me just put it that way.
So you're the only unprofessional person there, Tony? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm the only unprofessional guy here. My little degree from Kent State is thinking of top any of these people.
Well, one more time, Tony, give the plug for the business and the address and all that.
So again, this is Wolfpack Chorus. And I said Wolfgang, like the chef. Wolfpack Chorus. It's on the corner of Cornell and Random. And again, what's cool about this is, again, there is parking on the side of the street. There is valet, and of course you can walk, Uber. This is one of my most favorite restaurants. They've only been open a little over a year. And this is one of my to-goes. Late night, I can come in here for a cocktail after playing bocce ball. Nice. So again, I'm always live in Little Italy, guys. I'll be back here in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about the feast. And you can tune me in every Saturday morning on Flashpoint 1490 WERE between 10 o'clock and 11. Tony Musachio, the roving restaurant reporter. And one more thing, guys. You know, there's always a national something day. There's a national pizza day. There's national bagel day. Well, today is national, and I can't make this stuff up, National Orgasm Day. You heard it. Look it up on the internet. Love you guys.
Thanks, Tony.
Tony.
Great
place. Thanks, Tony.
You
too.
All right, Tony. Wow.
That place looked great, man.
That does look great. I'm sure that guy loved him. I'm sure he loved him saying, yeah, it's National Orgasm Day.
That's good.
Now have some of this creme brulee.
Oh, I know what I'm doing when my wife goes to bed. So.
Yeah. Celebrating.
Yes, I'll be celebrating the day.
That's right.
Better go charge the phone up.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. Enjoy yourselves.
Too funny.
Oh, God. All right.
All right, we're ready to make the switch over to Mines.
Time to switch. Yes, indeed. Time to switch over to Mines. Thanks to Tony Montana joining us today.
Yeah, that was great.
That was awesome. Thanks to Tony Musachio for joining us. And thanks to Jon Drake as well for enlightening me a little bit. But we'll have to talk to him again about some Brown stuff in a week or two. So
this was a high-speed show, man.
It was. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, my God, it's over. So,
nice.
We will, God willing, talk to you on Monday. Have yourself a good rest of the week, and we will talk to you again on Minds, M-I-N-D-S, coming up in just a few. If you're
That's right.
Subscribe, join us over there, and otherwise we will talk to you later.
See ya.